for all those types of taking up possession. Please note the meeting is being broadcast and recorded. If you wish to record the meeting yourself, please give due regard to council protocol and audio visual recording as well as feedback of the meetings. And then the apologies, absolutely, I have one apology, which is Councillor John minute made by the proposer. She was taking the all in favour. That's unanimous. Declaration of interest.
On item 4, I have had opinions from the architect and the owner of the land. Just
Thank you. I have a similar email, so it's
yeah.
Thank you. So goes to the first application then. So this agenda item 4. And this is Google Foxtrot 24/01 63/Foxtrot email, and this is the action 5 number 12 at 459A Scarborough. Chair,
so I think I was sitting around prior to the meeting that the outline application was initially in item 5 has been withdrawn. The development plot in this case was to application sites, which is the application development third, and the outline which was located to the immediate east of the application that we're discussing now. The outline application was withdrawn prior to the meeting following the publication of the reports and recommendations online. The withdrawal of the application is not impacted on the decision process of the full application. However, obviously we will seek in delegated authority to change the wording of the use of refuse for the full application. That's written on the desk. Now, if you kind of got that to check that and confirm that with the yeah. So moving on to the application itself, the application site is a rectangular plot of land measuring 0.29 hectares, located off Scarborough Road in Newgate, Scarborough. It is located to the south of the site and to the north of an apartment block regarding the court and the time community complex, Albert View Court. An access exists in the northwest corner of the site. The site is located in the development limits in a mixed-use area consisting of residential, various commercial units, and other services, including a doctor's surgery, which is located on the site to the north. The site, which is visible in the top left-hand corner of the Indian Street now, is located approximately 3.5 kilometres to the northwest of Scarborough Town Centre. The site currently has an access from Scarborough Road. The bus stop located to the immediate front of the site with a long frontage. The application site was previously used for residential purposes, but has since been cleared up buildings and vegetation. It's now comprised of grassland with a small hedgerow on the front line. To the north side are existing residential properties located on the side. The image wants to be now to show the rear elevations of those properties. To the south of the side is Scarborough Court, which is an apartment block, and Albert View Court, which is a type of living complex. On the front of the site, there also 2 mature trees, which will be retained. And moving on to the plans themselves, as stated, the access will be from the northwest of the site, re-establishing the existing access. This will lead into the plots, which would contain 2 parking spaces each and a garage each. Turning that will be formed on the eastern end of the site, adjacent to plots 2 and 3. And on the site, ornamental amenity an on-site pond for ornamental amenity environment will be formed on the site, adjacent to plots 3 and 4. alongside plants of trees and shaped across the site. Plot one is a detached two-storey property featuring internal garage. It's 4 bedroom. Plot 2 is largely the same, 2 bedroom, 4 bedroom property with internal garage. Plot 3 is proposed as a 5 bedroom property, 2 storeys, 2 storeys together with internal garage. And plots 4 and 5, again, are both 2 story properties with a semi-detached garage in between the plots. As part of the development, the bus stop on the front of the side is proposed to be relocated approximately 20 metres to the south. Approval be granted by members, further detail will be required from the developer clarifying the reposition of the bus stop and implementation measures. Planning condition will be attached to the approval for the developer to submit these details to the council and should approve granted, we should be approved by the council prior to development. In terms of landscaping scheme, this will consist of plants and trees within the side, concentration in the southwest of the side adjacent to plot 1, and concentration adjacent to the pond between plots 3 and 4. So moving on to the main consideration of the application, which is it comprises of a part of the wider development plot, with the eastern part of the site shown as the blue line boundary of stream now, also by the applicant. The site has been divided, and the eastern part of the site is to contain the outline application, which has been withdrawn prior to the meeting. No clear or justified reason has been presented to support the applications as to why they have been separated. The main consideration is the affordable housing provision. The application site and so on is not a scale that typically trigger the need for affordable housing provision. Threshold is 10 or more units. However, the local planning authority still maintains that the site was part of the wider development plot, which in its entirety will require 30% affordable housing need. No affordable housing need is presented as part of this application, and it was initially the intention of the developer to concentrate full 30% affordable housing solely on the outline of the site. In the economic reference to this would create a significant and undue pressure on the outline to provide for affordable housing vision. Which can conflict with local plan policy HC3 and the associated subtext, which makes it clear that planning permission should be refused for development that makes no or inadequate contribution to affordable housing, where it could reasonably be made. Additionally, sites which have been subdivided and or permitted to fall below the affordable housing threshold, which is a challenge. And further to this, the density of the development falls with the expected standard of 30 kilograms per hectare. Whilst flexibility can be afforded to the density figure, it might be of character. The shortfall adds further weight to the potential population of the development sites and unit numbers to fall under the threshold for housing provision. In relation to the matters, new units from the town council rejected the scheme based on high risk safety concerns. The agricultural officer has raised some concern with the potential landscaping plan, although this could be rectified through additional or amended information. The local highway authority did not object to the relocation of the bus stop, subject to the judgment, regulation order, and the pre-trial for moving from the developer to facilitate the TRO. No concerns were raised by the MPA in terms of design, layout, as a means to ecology or food risk. The agent has indicated that the development will be willing to enter a section 106 agreement for the bus stop relocation and outlaw support and healthcare contributions. Notwithstanding, it is the officer's recommendation that the application is reviewed due to the lack of a comprehensive affordable housing strategy across the entire development plot, alongside the shortfall in density figures and the unnecessary subdivision of the plot. This, in the opinion of the we're planning for the street side manipulation to avoid any provision for affordable housing, which is contrary to local plan policy HC1, HC3, DEC3, and the guidance to the council of affordable housing and SDD. Should the application be reviewed by members, the LPSC delegates authority to amend the wording of the reason for reviews, given the change circumstances with the outline being removed.
If I could just say to make it simple, because you statement have been the word should be different, but we would be delegated authority if you're happy with the word of statement.
Thank you. Without any quick speakers, so I'll go to Councillor. Thank you, Chair, and thanks for allowing this to come to committee. You said about consultation for us, first start. 7.6 environmental health, no objection to it, would request for further information, and that information will be received.
The first question it's not what says that would be right. A planning commission should be
Thanks. Yeah, well, so thank you for allowing me to come to committee. It is the lack of affordable housing that really worries me with this site, because, you know, if ever there was a manipulation of site to get the best out of it, I think this is broken. Also said about, well, we're looking at a bus stop near Hackneyfield Junction. Well, anybody who goes on Scarborough Road will know that that's the daftest idea that could ever be, right in function like that. And if we approve it, then we're going to seek consultation with the transport. Well, what happens if they don't agree to the bus stop being moved? That's the other thing that worries me with that. Residents round about looking out on the site here, because we just went in and shoot it out of work a bit of farther available. And there's a lot of small mammals and stuff like in there, enjoying living in there. And to be honest, it was really a rare for the countryside and how it was dealt with. It worries me also that now that the backside background would be withdrawn, is that is it going to be developing this and then that backside stays empty or whatever because of the advance restricting on that. And so we're not going to get the best deal out of it for social housing, in my opinion. I agree with the amended reason for refusal. And I also think moving the bus stop plays an important part in this. And I think it should all the members would support the amended refusal. And I'm more than happy to move. So I'm moving the refusal back to
Just a question. With the rear side, did at any point an agreed access point was provided there?
no, it wasn't. So the elements of that was all matters reserved. So any plan that was submitted was purely limited, and any access that was access into the site. So realistically, the only access. So yeah, would be this like I mean, the farm close. Yeah, so it would be people and
yes.
I would like to second that motion. I think that's appropriate. I think what concerns me is that housing allocation. And I do believe there's been a certain degree of manipulation taking place. But I do have a great deal of sympathy for the developer. I think when he purchased the site at the front, he didn't quite understand what he was buying. And I think the people who were selling it knew very well selling, and he's got caught into that. But having said that, that's his problem, not ours. We're not dealing with the value of the value. We're just concerned about the density, and it's the density at the front which really do complete that in with all the other buildings around it. It's something very, very different. So on that basis alone, we should be rejected. And secondly, Councillor Blassingham's proposal to reject.
Thank you, Councillor Rob.
Thank you, Chair. Yes, I certainly agree with sort of rejecting this application, adjusting the grounds, emphasis made, and also I agree with the wording that it's in front of us. Just a quick question: what, with all the facts, does the have any right to appeal, and would it be sort of what sort of grounds would they have? Do you guess?
Yeah, so answer that question, you would have rights to appeal, yeah, and being obviously the law is to the truth, which is affordable housing, and that's this, it would be against that. Yeah, affordable housing is,
Yeah, that's right. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Any speakers that we speak? So we have moved and second, all in favour? That's unanimous. Thank you. So item 5 will be for exit. Item 6, maybe the do the top shot take price stuff. There was a 9-1 slash Bravo. So this is with respect to expected application to classify a number timber ladders with steel ladders at the East Pier in this street with big bondage.
Thank you. This is an application made on behalf of North Yorkshire Council, and the application seeks a retrospective listed building consent for the installation of 5 pavement ladders to the East Pier in Whitby. The East Pier runs northwest from the base of the East Cliff, with its base below sea level. The pier can be accessed via Henrietta Street, located east of Church Street and Whitby Bridge. The structure is Grade 2 listed, and the site also lies within the designated conservation area of Whitby. Here are various images taken from the East Pier. The East Pier have 5 timber ladders to which this application relates. 3 on the western side and 2 on the eastern side of the pier. These images show the location of the 5 ladders. This image shows an existing timber ladder currently in situ on the west pier, as submitted by the applicant. Timber ladders which have been replaced were replacements for earlier ones, likely replaced numerous times over the centuries as a result of the maritime environment. Therefore, they are not original. This image shows how the ladders appear now, which are constructed from galvanized steel. This is an image showing one of the ladders from the west pier. This is an image showing 2 of the ladders from looking east from the west pier. The new ladders are similar in terms of style, albeit constructed of steel, which inevitably has different appearance. In this case, the metal ladders are considered to be acceptable. The steel ladders have already been installed. They will provide safer access from the pier, have a longer lifespan, and are less likely to break over time. Furthermore, once exposed to the marine environment, the colour and appearance of the new ladders will dull down relatively quickly, and the metal ladders will blend more comfortably with stone. The retrospective application is a small-scale development that is brought forward to the committee due to the fact that it has been submitted by North Yorkshire Council. The timber ladders which have been replaced were replaced with early ones, likely replaced numerous times over centuries and are not original. Therefore, it is considered that replacement ladders have not resulted in the loss of features of architectural interest. and no harm has resulted in the overall heritage significance of the East Pier. Overall, the works comprise essential repair works to the structure that ensure safe access, whilst successfully preserving the architectural integrity of the very listed structure. The officer's recommendation is one of approval, in line with the advice from the council's conservation officer. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor.
Thank you for that. I think really okay and everything, but one thing I would like you to do is perhaps give an explanation as to why this application is retrospective. We don't want to give the impression that North Yorkshire is fast and loose with the planning obligations for its own benefit. That would be helpful. I would like to propose.
Yeah, we can do that.
Motion.
Oh, we want to second.
Yeah, I don't think there's anything untoward at all with this. Well, we shouldn't actually apply it. It's only this we consent. As Lucio said, over the years, the things have been replaced numerous times, just about standard maintenance. And it's, although it brings no excuse, what I would suggest is it probably doesn't occur on a daily basis to those responsible. That this is a listed structure, and they would just be used part of the ongoing standard maintenance. We probably wouldn't be stupid officers, to be honest. It was a result of the complaints, and you know, as soon as you realise that response concerns got the list of the application and it's today.
Thank you very much.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Chair. I know that's a silly question. What are the ladders for? But I'd like to reverse that. The pictures don't show what's at the top of the ladders. The reason for me asking is that I just wondered, is there any past history of overzealous teenagers or not even teenagers trying to get down the ladders rather than asking this on a safety ground?
I'm not aware of any teenagers trying to get down them.
I'll answer that all the
There might be.
Did you ask the peers? Usually the local teenagers tend to use the tail pier as a main fish pier as a means of jumping into the harbour. We're going to use the East pier because of the height of it first, but it's mainly the tail of the fish pier.
So there's no safety.
Well, I think the reason we're allowed there is there's been a few incidents in the past where you can't get quite up in that area, where ships have basically lost power or steering gear, and the needed basically be put alongside, and the crew can then climb the ladders to get up. So there are instances safety.
Thank you.
Not anything else, and you can read for that explanation. I do think it's a bit tongue in cheek in respect, because anybody who realised that day was listed in Scarborough Council days was very few times we got some big guy on the top.
Just to go back, I don't want certainly like them all the time. No. I wasn't saying people, some people wouldn't be aware. I just think literally day-to-day maintenance probably unlike the committee and the officers, that people don't walk around thinking about planning.
That's being disrespectful to me. I'll know that. Yeah.
So any other comments or questions? So Councillor Chalmers moved and Councillor seconded. It's all in favour. That's unanimous. Okay. Next item, there's no urgent business. So the next meeting is 10th of July. See you all.
Thank you.
Thank you.
On times and things. I think that's the quickest cycle you've got. Yeah, that's we'll call that 220. 20 minutes.
Like you get sort of Larry, Mickey Davis, they were sharpish.
We did it, yeah, and they'll move. We,
Take it off. Take it off. Yeah, no.
uh,
Let's check and see.